I really like studying what's going on underwater because it's something that I, for a long time, didn't really understand the three-dimensional space there, in that when a human looks at a body of water, you see the surface, but there's actually so much going on down there that humans just don't realize and are not in touch with. But once I started discovering that, I was just so intrigued and I just want to know more. My name is Grace Hummelgarn. I love fish. This is a long nose. Is it a darter or a... How many dorsal fins does it have?
So we don't know.
There's one dorsal fin.
And there's another one.
Okay, so the first dorsal fin, it looks like a little head. My senior comp is about the juvenile drift of round gobies in the French Creek watershed as a means of range expansion. Round gobies are an invasive fish species. We're really concerned about round gobies in the French Creek system. But one thing that we know they do in other systems is that the larval, or actually they're juvenile round gobies, come up into the water column and drift downstream as a way to expand their range.
Today we're going to be setting drift nets to look for larval fish drifting downstream in French Creek. This is French Creek.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. And then you want, most organisms when they drift come up to the surface, so we want this net just below the surface so that it's completely full with water, but we're getting anything that's coming up towards the surface of the water. My comp was just looking at one site, so that was where we know that they're established. At this site, I got 163 round gobies total. My favorite thing about my comp is that people outside of Allegheny want to know about my results. And that I feel like what I'm studying actually matters to other ecologists.
Okay. The temperature is 19.0.
Mark got really excited about the first day.
Yes.
Was it a silver jaw?
Silver jaw, yeah.
Like growing up, I was like always interested in. I don't think I really had a word for it, but I just like playing outside and like dirt and bugs and whatever. My name is Danielle Studer. I'm interested in studying stream ecology. I work in the GIS lab, so I'm pretty interested in GIS as well, which is kind of, my comp is a combination of stream ecology and GIS. My comp is a predictive model of the habitat connectivity of brook trout. So basically I know where they are in certain downstream areas, and I want to see where they might be upstream, so I can make recommendations on where to look for them. What I did is I looked at culverts, which are the road and stream intersections that allow streams to pass under roads, and I gave them a score on whether they're a barrier to brook trout passage. And then I also looked at forest cover as a habitat measure because they need cool temperatures and high levels of canopy cover and forest in the riparian zone. So I made a really rough watershed boundary outline, and then I was able to look at the intersections and say, okay, this is where a culvert should be, at least a stream crossing a road should be. I did field work collecting data on the culverts, so dimensions and things like that. Sometimes it was a little scary. We got stopped by the game warden one day because he thought we were setting traps or something, and I pulled up the tape measure and I went, just measuring. And he's like, oh, I thought you were setting traps. I was like, no, just measuring.
He seems Beauty!
Don't leave me.
He's like,
Stay
please
with
let
me
me go.
forever.
Please let me go back.
Deep down, I've always like enjoyed being outside, and I just want to explore that more, I think. So that's when I decided to take AP Environmental Science, and I was like, this is something I want to pursue. I don't think I'm the best student, but I think just like my passions push through that, and that's what keeps me going. So my name's Mary Allen. My comp is about the effects that road salt has had on freshwater aquatic ecosystems. It's something that I see so much of, like in the spring, how like it rains so much and then all the salt just disappears. So I started to do a little bit of research, and then was like, I don't want this just to be a literature review, you know, I want to do some sort of hands-on field work. So then my professors helped me to figure out what exactly I could do. I took 3 rounds of samples in October, January, and February, and I collected 10 different water samples from 2 different creeks that feed into French Creek. And 5 of them are from Gravel Run, which also feeds into French Creek, but from the eastern side, and then Casawago Creek feeds into French Creek from the western side. And so then I learned about the atomic absorption spectrometer that we have on campus. So what we do is, this is sort of like a little straw that kind of like sucks up the water. So I'm going to stick it in my sample, and you'll notice the flame kind of turns a little bit more purple. That means there's sodium in it. Like we turn on a certain like one of these lamps. So we have like the sodium lamp on, sodium and potassium lamp on, and yeah, the water is kind of like, it's like specifically detecting for sodium. Like this is like a raw sample, it's not diluted, and you can just see like, you can see the color change. It's pretty cool. It basically like sends a light wave kind of through the flame, and that's what makes it turn a different color depending on how much sodium is in it.
Yeah, I think that's actually really cool that you're not a chemistry major and that you like didn't take like all the different like organic chemistry classes, whatever.
You don't need all that.
Yeah, you still can do it. You can do what you want to.
I enjoy this, you know, I enjoy
It's
like,
interesting.
some lab work. And I like that it's like environmental plus chemistry, you know.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Water goes back really good.
So did it change?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you go based off of the one before.
My excitement for nature has like always been there, because as a little kid, my parents would take us camping. I would play outside with my sister a lot. And then once I started taking biology courses, beginning to understand like how everything works, that's when I really got more interested into the science side of it. My name is Robin Forsha. I've been with Creek Connections all 4 years. Creek Connections is an environmental education organization here at Allegheny College, but we also reach out to a bunch of different schools, and our main mission is to encourage hands-on, inquiry-based learning in local waterways. As we test water quality, and we get to go out in the streams, which is a lot of fun, and collect macroinvertebrates. We get to meet the students outdoors, and I think it's always much more exciting to learn about the outdoors and be outdoors. I never thought of myself as like going into education specifically. It was more of the passion for aquatic ecosystems and those organisms that brought me to Creek Connections. I'm glad that Creek Connections is a thing, and that I get to bring the outdoors to like a bunch of different kids. I do think it is beneficial for students, especially the younger girls, to see us come out to schools, because then they see that we're doing it, and they probably think, well, you know, if I'm interested, I could do this too.
Yeah, it's hard to get everyone lately, so we're gonna have to change our. Yeah, you're at like 0.02, so 0.02.
And a lot of my science teachers were women, actually.
my sister went into science, you know. My mom was like a math major in college, so it was always like, you can do what you want, you know, and I definitely found like, this is something I'm good at, so I might as well pursue it.
I've had some really important role models who were female scientists. Back from my middle school science teacher was a female scientist. My high school chemistry teacher, who was so important in getting me into environmental science. Casey here, Dr. Casey Bradshaw Wilson. They are all female scientists who I've had to look up to as role models, and they have done good work and earned the respect. So I feel like it's definitely possible as a woman to do this. So I'm not the first one. And I think that women are becoming an increasing part of the scientific field, and especially my generation, we definitely feel empowered to do that.
There is a sunfish. Seriously?
Really?
What do you think? I think creek chub. Let me see. Yeah, I think you're right. Creek chub.
Like, it seems like we should have come so much further by now. Like, there are, you know, there's more and more women in the field, but there's, especially like fisheries is still very dominated by men. Even like working outside in the field is going to be harder for a woman just to use the bathroom if you're working outside all day.
Mm-hmm.
That is much harder for a woman, especially if you are working with a bunch of men who are not like thinking about that. It was interesting, like this summer we did a bunch of different like stream ecology projects, and me and Grace, we worked together this summer, and there were a lot of men in all the projects that we did. And it was like a tangible feeling.
But that was never a bad thing. I never felt excluded. I never felt like you can't do this. So I think I'm very lucky in that the people that I've been able to work with haven't cared that I was a woman.
They're always very kind and like supportive and like great mentors and teachers.
We got our big toe biter.
Ocean. Show me, Grace.
Oh yeah.
I love field work. That's what I really love. I've always liked being outside and hiking and biking and all those kinds of things, just exploring in the woods, turning over rocks. So field work is like, here, get paid and do work that's meaningful while also getting to go play in the woods or in the stream or whatever. So like, does it get better than that?
This past summer was so fun because I got to play in a stream. I got to like touch fish and learn how to ID fish, and I was also like spending time with really like cool, smart, fun people. And yeah, it's just like every day is fun.
Nice. There were some big ones. We're just catching fish.
There are a pair that make me look like a human.
The more I do this, the more I learn that no one is a scientist by themselves. And that it's your peers who are you working with, your professors who are guiding you, the students who are learning with you, all of them that really make science happen. It's really a group effort. Being here at Allegheny has really helped me learn and understand as I'm doing it. I actually try to look at it as a really exciting time to be a female scientist, and the message that has been given to me has been, yes, you can do this, and I'm really grateful for that.
He's wiggly. There we go. Almost. There we go. I got it. Yum. The slide is not fun. With the waiters on.